friends! Thanks for coming back to join me for another Sunday school lesson. I'm so glad you're here. So, if you've been hanging out with us for the last few weeks, we have been learning all about God. Who God is, what is He like? We're learning these things because our faith is our belief in God. It's important that we know who it is that we believe in and that we know what He's like. Here's just a few of the things that we've learned so far about God. We've learned that He's kind. We've learned that He's a good friend, that He is all-powerful, all-knowing, that we can trust Him. We've learned that He is holy. These things are important for us to learn so that when we're feeling shaken, when we're not sure what's going on in life, we can stand firm that we believe in and are kept by a God who knows everything, sees everything, loves us, cares for us, and will provide for us. And that is the truth about God that we are learning about today, that He is our provider. Now, where is it that we're getting our information from? Where is it that we're learning these truths about who God is? We get them from our Bibles, His Word. Our Bibles are the words of God. It is breathed out by God. It is true. It is whole. It is without flaw. Our Bibles are God's letter to us. It is His way to tell us about who He is. It is how He speaks to us. It is how we build our faith by studying His Word. It is a good thing, friends. So today, the truth about God that we're going to learn from His Word is that He is our provider. We're going to read a really great story about how Jesus was able to provide for a lot of people with not very much. He took just a few fish and a few loaves of bread and fed a whole lot of people. So grab your Bibles, open up to the book of Matthew, chapter 14, and read along with me at home. We're going to start in verse 13. It says, "Now when Jesus heard this, He withdrew from there in a boat to a desolate place by Himself." So the news that Jesus had just heard was that his friend had died, and I imagine he was feeling really sad. So Jesus went on a boat to get some time by himself. Probably, I'm sure he was praying to God and going to God for comfort in those moments, finding a quiet place to pray and to be with the Lord. It says, "But when the crowds heard it, they followed Him on foot from the towns. When He went ashore," so He came off the boat, came back to the shore, "He saw a great crowd, and He had compassion on them and healed their sick." Now we're going to do a quick side note. How amazing is it that Jesus, in His time of pain, He still looked upon the people and showed them love and healed them. I think that just is a great verse that shows the heart of Jesus, the heart of God. So let's keep reading. It says, "Now when it was the evening, the disciples came to Him and said, 'This is a desolate place, and the day is now over. Send the crowds away to go into the village and buy food for themselves.' So the disciples come to Jesus and they're like, 'Hey, there's not a lot going around here. These people are really hungry. It's getting late. They're not going to be able to forage around for food. We should send them away.' But Jesus said, 'They need not go away. You give them something to eat.' They said to Him, 'We only have 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish.'" Friends, is that a lot of food? No. Let's keep reading. "And He said, 'Bring them here to me.' Then He ordered the crowds to sit down on the grass, and taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, He looked up to heaven and said a blessing. Then He broke the loaves and gave them to the disciples, and the disciples gave them to the crowds. And they all ate and were satisfied." So, did everyone just get a little bite? No, everyone ate until their tummies were full. And they took up 12 baskets full of broken pieces left over, and those who ate were about 5,000 men, beside women and children. So here is just one of the miracles that Jesus performed when he was here on earth. He took a tiny bit of food and fed, it wasn't just 5,000 people, it was 5,000 men and their families. So if I'm thinking about my family, that would be my husband would be the man, and then there would also be me and my 2 kids. So that would be like 3 more people in each family. Guys, that's like 20,000 people from 2 little fish and 5 loaves of bread. I mean, besides the fact that that miracle was just so crazy cool, it shows us that God's heart is to provide for us. Now, when we look at God as our provider, does that mean that God is going to give us every single little thing when we want it at the exact moment we want it? No, God is not a genie in a bottle or a vending machine. You can't just push a button and get exactly what it is that you want. Because friends, the things we want may be different than the things we need, but God does promise in his word that he will care for us and give us the things we need. I want to encourage you, if there is something in your life that you need provision for from the Lord, take a few minutes and pray to him and share your heart with him. It will lighten your heart. Prayer is good. It is conversation with the Most High God. And the Bible tells us God is our friend. He wants to hear you and he cares for you. Friends, I'm so glad that you joined me for this time. Come back next week as we learn more truths about who God is from his word. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.